What's going on, everybody? Jake Baker here, Bloomington Edge, here to cover all things football with you. Already into week 5 of the football season, and we're going to talk again about our standouts, our updates, our matchups, and this week's picks. So first guy up is Le'Veon Bell. He had a huge week this week, 35 rushes, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, and some receptions for 42 yards. Put up 34.6 points. Finally, happy to see him going. I'm sure he is too. Todd Gurley, a guy who's going to be on this video week in and week out now. He's back to that form he had his rookie season, and the Rams are really clicking on all cylinders. Jared Goff looks great. Expect them to be for real this year. Next guy, Deshaun Watson, put up 5 touchdowns. I'm sure you guys heard about this. Really established himself in the leadership role for Houston. That offense is finally clicking. Next guy, Cam Newton, former MVP, looking like he played like it this past week against New England, even though that defense is struggling. Put up 33 points. It was fun to watch. And then Ezekiel Elliott, getting back into it from his last year's leading rusher, and of course he looks like it in this past game. Good game, 29.9 points put up in fantasy. Some injury updates, rough week as far as injury goes. First guy, Devontae Adams. I had that rough hit against Danny Trevathan. If you guys are watching the game, really scary moment. Went down and thankfully came out of the hospital. Everything seems to be fine. He said he was feeling great, but I'm sure the Packers are going to want to take him through some concussion protocol and stuff for this week, so just keep an eye on him as we move closer to the week getting started. Andrew Luck, I know he's been out for a while, but just an update here. He did rejoin practice this past week, so keep your eye on him. I'm sure he's going to be back in the lineup in the next couple weeks here. Then we got Dalvin Cook, a guy who I picked as my rookie of the year, and he was sure playing like it before he tore his ACL this past week, so it's a real shame to see him go down. I hate to see it. Odell Beckham Jr., he says he's fighting multiple injuries per ESPN, and says he's questionable again this week, but he's kind of been like that all week. Just keep an eye on him as we move a little closer to the start of the week. I'm sure he'll be fine, though. Derek Carr fractured his back this past week. He's out 2 to 6 weeks. Real key guy for Oakland. Sure they hate to see him go down, a vocal leader as well as physical leader, so you hate to see that for Oakland. And then Chris Carson, guy for Seattle, who's really established himself in that running back role. Leg fracture this past week, and you hate to see him go down too. Some week 5 matchups for you guys. Some good matchups this week. Be sure to pause the video as always. Check them out. This is the week where the buys are kind of starting to set in, so be sure to check what guys are playing this week, what guys aren't, and get them out of your lineup and pick someone up if you need to. So give that a video a pause and check that out. Some of my week 5 picks, we got Mike Evans going up against New England. New England's a struggling defense, and Mike Evans has been burning defenses that have been really good against the pass, so expect him to have another huge week this week against New England. And then we got Ezekiel Elliott going up against the Packers. Had a good week this past week, and the Packers allow over 100 yards rushing. I think 111 per game is a stat. So, expect Zeke to get in the end zone and maybe put up over 100 yards rushing this week, so look out for that. Stephon Diggs going up against the struggling Bears and the struggling Bears secondary. On Monday Night Football, I think Stephon Diggs is going to come out and show out for this game against the struggling Bears D. Jarvis Landry playing Tennessee at home. I think Tennessee is not good. I know Tennessee's not good against the pass. Let up about 2.8 touchdowns per game in the air, and I think Jarvis Landry coming off that rough loss against the Saints is going to be able to put up some good numbers this week, so keep an eye on him. Lamar Miller, after Deshaun's big week, expect the Texans to try to control the pace of the game against Kansas City. They don't want Kansas City's offense to get hot, so I think they're going to start by running the ball, controlling the clock, and then eventually going to get it back into Deshaun's hands later in the game. That'll be a good matchup this week too. So what to watch for? I don't know if how many guys know how big of a Bears fan I am, but Mike Lennon has finally been sat, which I have been tweeting at the Bears organization nonstop to sit him, and finally they did it. Putting in Mitch Trubisky out of UNC, number 2 overall pick for the Bears. I think he's going to be huge impact on that Monday night matchup. He's great moving outside the pocket, and he's got some good accuracy to go along with it, throwing on the run. So just a game I should say you guys should tune in for. Going to be great to watch. Once again, guys, I just want to thank you for checking out this video. Check out Bloomington Edge Facebook, their Twitter. Be sure to give us a follow if you already haven't. Go to our website to check out some events that are coming up in the community that we'll be at. Come out, say hi to us, and then check out our ticket packages on our site. Our season starts in March, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys out here this next season. So as always, good luck in your fantasy next week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.